Hello. I want to say thank you to Petrus for the weather and to the organizers for inviting me to speak here, even if I'm not a speaker. When I accepted to come here, I thought, well, it's a challenge. Later I felt stressed when thinking about today. What have I loaded onto myself? Maybe I'll just tell how I came to WWOOF. I always liked living with other people, and when I had my own place, I often had people staying with me who were exchanging some help in return for having a place to stay. Later, I was living and traveling in Australia. There I stayed in a community who were also WWOOF hosts, and I got to meet some WWOOFers. WWOOFers were the volunteers who were helping my hosts in their organic vegetable or fruit orchard. I became a WWOOFer myself, and I stayed at many farms. What I liked most about being a WWOOFer in Australia was that the hosts were always working together with me. And every evening I had the feeling I have got to know the life of another interesting person. On average, I was helping 4 to 6 hours a day, and I learned what the host was growing, and I got a place to stay and also something to eat. I remember I stayed near Melbourne in a community of 22 houses. Every day I was helping another community member. They all were trying their best so that I would tell later I got the best food at their place. It was a real treat. WWOOFing was for me like a practical way of brainstorming about life, what I can do in life. One farmer I stayed with, for example, was growing herbs on a piece of land, which was about as big as my garden here at home. And he sold those fresh herbs on the market, and it was his major source of income. I thought I can also do that. I haven't done it yet, but it is still a possibility. When I was back in Switzerland, I thought one should also start a WWOOF organization here in Switzerland, because it offers so many interesting and inspiring contracts. But there was also another WWOOFer called Patrick Bill who had this idea at the same time. So I met him and I gave him what I had already prepared, and he ran WWOOF for 2 years until he moved to France and started a farm himself. Then I knew Thomas Schwager from St. Gallen, and I suggested him to run WWOOF, and he did it for about another 2 years until he was offered a very demanding job with a big agricultural organization. At that time I wasn't traveling so much anymore myself, and I decided I was interested to run WWOOF Switzerland myself. Since I've been doing this, I always enjoyed all the contacts that I had thanks to this activity. WWOOF had started in 1971 when a secretary in London was looking for some people who would work with her on the weekend on an organic farm. She made an ad in a magazine and quite a few people responded. So WWOOF was born. At that time it was called Working Weekends on Organic Farms. The idea caught on. The farms liked getting the WWOOFers, and some of them wanted to volunteer more time than just a weekend. So it became willing workers on organic farms. In the year 2000, there was the first international conference of WWOOF organizers. There we renamed WWOOF again to Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms, to make it clear that WWOOF is not a work agency, and that it is actually the opportunities that are the soul of the organization. At that conference, I have been proposed to accept the position of international WWOOF spokesman. just because I made a few jokes, and they wanted someone who spoke another language than English. And here today, in 2007, I'm first time talking in public.
Really? It's your first time? First time?
And I see someone is taking a video, I will put it on YouTube.